All right, we're live.
What's cracking? This is Jimbo's footage. This is Payalo.
This is Goldie.
What's up, Mr. Criminal? It's your homeboy Steven Lou.
It's your homeboy Ricardo giving a shout
Yo,
out.
what's cracking? It's me, Alvino.
This is Veronica.
It's Monica from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Calling in from the San Fernando Valley.
Calling from Montebello.
Already on Winter Boulevard every weekend.
Out from Denver,
And we
Colorado.
back, baby.
South Central Los Angeles.
Supporting the crime family entertainment.
And it feels good to have you guys still supporting all over the world. I mean, we've been doing this shit for 3 months.
I support Crime Family Entertainment.
And it's been feeling so good to have this organic love all over the world. Mr. Criminal on air live 2023, the most realest and most active podcast on the motherfucking West Coast. You know how we do it. Shout out to everybody all out there supporting. Subscribers going crazy. Can't even talk. Got this cotton mouth from this OG. In here feeling good right now. Twisting up, getting prepared for this podcast. We live. And tonight we got a special guest. We got an offspring of a continuancy of an offspring of a brothers that have been in this game for over 20 years. And I'd like to introduce the homie, bring it to the table, a young legend in his own right. The homie Y motherfucking B was cracking, homie.
What's up, my boy?
How
What's
you doing
going
tonight,
on? Man.
And I'm proud of you because you made your own name now.
Yeah.
You carved that shit out, homie. Can't nobody take that from you, homie.
Yup.
Salute, homie. We
Yup,
got
thank
YB
you.
in the motherfucking building, 2023, Mr. Criminal. And we still knocking shit down out here. It's been an interesting day. I saw some funny shit while I was working out. I literally took my time out of my workout and had to watch some shit where a guy was saying, and this other fool's talking shit. I was laughing myself. There's some funny shit going on out there in the podcast world. We got podcasters beefing with rappers now.
Oh man.
This shit's funny. It's a comedy show out here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe we could ask YB about his opinion on that in a minute, but we won't bring him right into that. We'll talk about some news first. We'll talk about some current events. It's been a good weekend. We just chilling out with the family. We had a couple lives. I was out there about to cop a Sprinter, and I found out I could get a better deal, so shame on them for wasting my motherfucking time. Because I'm going to get me a Sprinter in the next few days.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody all over the world. Crime Family Entertainment. You know how we do it. And tonight, we have the Hood TMZ Critical is in the building. Talk to him, homie. Tell him what's going on. What's
Crimes.
up? What's up?
In your busy schedule, my boy. Have you seen these two movies, bro?
Which ones?
Flaming Hot Cheetos and the Jordan movie.
I watched both of them this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched Hot Cheetos last night, and I saw the Jordan one. I think it was the day before yesterday.
How inspiring were those movies, bro?
The Nike story, the Jordan one was fucking incredible.
Right.
And I think that that one, they're both incredible in their own rights, right? So
Yeah.
one is more like inspiration about a motherfucker that nobody could tell you what to do. This dude's gonna knock it down no matter what, against all odds, against all that, right? And then another one is about Latinos and our people, and a Mexican homie from Ontario or Rancho, wherever he was from. And same thing, his family, coming over here, being first generation Latino raza, and building it, and people not believing in them. And I think it's an amazing thing to see people pushing for what they believe in and keep knocking these motherfucking doors down. Kind of like what me and YB do with this Chicano rap shit. What you think about that, YB?
The movie?
Yeah, just period, homie. The movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that Flaming Hot Cheeto movie, that shit was cool. I think
Yeah.
that was a good representation for the raza right there.
Yeah.
The Nike one, what's it called? Air, right?
Air,
Yeah, I seen that shit too. That shit was pretty cool, dog.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you think was better? Honestly.
Nah, the Flaming Hot Cheeto, my boy.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Shout out to Eva Longoria. Shout out to
that shit
to
felt like
everybody.
home.
Yeah, right? And they did a fucking great job.
Yeah.
Honestly, usually when they do stories about homies in Raza, I feel like they drop the ball. I usually feel like they don't do a good job. Shout out to Eva Longoria for representing our culture right and putting it down accurate. And I saw her in her little cameo right there. I didn't catch it. My son caught it. He was like, I think that's her that answered the phone in the office. Did you guys catch that shit?
I
didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't catch
Yeah, my
that
son
either.
got a sharp ass eye. That's street visuals. He said, I think that was her. I had to rewind it back. And sure enough, that was her. So
I gotta go ahead and rewatch it.
yeah, that was pretty dope to see that she even wanted to be in there. And then the real dude, the real homie that owns the shit and that created it. He was in there too. I don't know if you guys noticed. He was in the
caught
park.
that. Yeah, him and his wife.
Yeah, he was in the park. They
that
gave
was
him a
dope.
bag of Cheetos.
Yep.
And shout out to the Lolos. One of them Lolos were here at the dog show.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Shout out to the homie Fabian.
Yeah, Fabian.
Yeah, Fabian was in that.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, man. So YB, let's switch gears, homie. Let's talk about the homie. You pulled up. I appreciate it last minute.
Yup.
We've been trying to get this together for the last few weeks. And I appreciate you coming out of your busy schedule and tapping in with us. I know you were at the homie Frank Nitty's tonight.
Yeah,
You guys were recording with the youngster that what do they call Young Blue, right? Young Blue?
Yeah, Young Blue. No, actually, Young Gritty.
Young Gritty, yeah, he
Young
changed his
Gritty.
name. Shout out to Young Gritty over there putting it down. Shout out to Frank Nitty. Shout out to everybody pushing for this unity. So what does it feel to you, and how important is it to you to connect these dots and still come out here and show the youngsters love and bless them with verses like you do?
Man, I feel like me and Nitty, you know, we go back a good 15 plus, and he's been reaching out too for me to like go to that studio, and I just been like, you know, doing my thing and shit, and I haven't really been able to pull up. But man, the homie always supports, dog. Like I had a show recently, the homie pulled up, and I was like, man, I gotta pull up on him, you know. So I hit the homie up, and we set that up, and I just, you know, came to show love to the homie. I mean, he got bars too, you know. Homie got some good music
That little
and shit.
motherfucker could flow, right?
Yeah, he could spit.
He
so
could spit. That fool definitely got some shit, man. I don't know.
I dropped my verse and I left, and I'm like, man, I hope this fool don't fucking.
Oh, so he had
might have to go back.
That's right. Shout out Young Gritty, man. We gotta give flowers where they're due, man. I know the little homie been putting it on. He been rapping for years. I don't know if people know, but he used to fuck with Night Owl and Sawed Off Camp. Since way
It was funny because we were talking about that right now.
Is that right?
I met that fool when he was like 12, dog. I was actually with Royalty.
Is that right?
I was rolling around with him, and we pulled up to Norwalk Records, and Mr. D was there, fucking Night Owl was there.
Norwalk Records,
yeah.
classic spot, huh?
And Night Owl had a Young Blue with him.
Yeah.
And I met him right there and shit.
Yeah. Is that what they called him back then too?
Yeah,
you know?
they called him Young Blue.
So yeah, it's good to see homies. Rest in peace, Night Owl, man. That's
Yo,
a fucked
rest
up
in
thing.
peace.
We lost a legend in the game, but having gained a Chicano rap legend, man. So I think that he's an angel overlooking the game. And right now, as a culture, as people, we're definitely heating up, homie. The conversation's getting crazy. These podcasts are starting to get to a point where even the podcasts are getting hot. I think it's a unique time for our people right now.
It is.
What's your opinion on that?
I believe it is, my boy. I never seen Raza televised or put out there the way we are now. So, yeah, I feel like motherfuckers are finally realizing we are the market. You know what I'm saying? So
The consumer.
the
mass consumer.
straight up.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time coming, you know. But
Hell yeah.
but it's here, shit.
Oh yeah, and I think it's important for more people's stories like yours to get highlighted. I think that the passion that you showed on other podcasts about pulling up on me was appreciated, homie, because it shows that you got passion. It shows that you got love for what you do. It shows that you stand on what you believe in, homie, and I got nothing but respect for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told you when we chopped it up on the phone, like, we got to make this happen regardless. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. Yo.
So I'm glad that we're making this official. So
It was needed, my boy.
yeah,
you know?
definitely. And why, in your opinion, why do you feel that these moments are needed, Holmes? Because I want to know from your opinion. I feel like I've been beating it in people's heads for a while, but I want to know from your opinion.
I mean, like, for me, the sit down, I feel like it was needed because of the history, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the history is more with them, right? You guys and shit. But I was in it
and
too.
we're speaking on his brother speaking in the back, the homie
626,
626 Gangsters, my long Taz.
Yeah, and I was in the, you know, I was in the mix. And then when I got in the music, I started doing my own thing, and it's just, you know, history, dog. We linked up. Well, we didn't link up, but you know, we did that song, and I mean, I feel like that song is that was done before it was cool to be done.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And we both took backlash from being leaders.
hell
on
yeah,
that.
come on, my boy.
Yeah,
you know.
Because I'm pretty sure that at that time it was very known that you guys were respected for what you guys were pushing.
Yeah.
You guys were definitely not no punks. You guys were riding it. And if anybody had the muscle over there, it was definitely you guys. It wasn't Snapper. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah,
Just being real.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So same with us. You know what I'm saying? So when I took that move and motion to connect that bridge with you, and you did the same thing with me. it was a moment where people on the back end was reflecting on me like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you got that, right?
Yeah, I definitely did.
But it showed the visionaries who we are and what we believe in and what we saw in the long run. Because we're out here really trying to push something for more important reasons. I don't think that any of us really wanted to get in the rap game to put another motherfucker in the grave.
Yeah.
Or to take another motherfucker out the game to where they can't provide for their families. I think it's the opposite. And I think that as people, we all come from tribes, right? Our cultures, our ancestors, we all come from tribes, and sometimes they go to war, sometimes they build together, sometimes they meet in the middle and they do trades, and we had to figure out a moment to get past that original war.
Yep.
And get to the trading moments and shake hands, and that's what we're at now, homie.
Facts.
So I think it's an amazing thing, and it's nothing that hasn't been done many years as far as fighting and beefs, but it's new to sit at the table and be able to celebrate getting past that shit.
Straight up.
And I do think, obviously, I honestly agree with you that it was important that we do sit down because of the history, because we both were moving so fast back then, and we were always in the streets and doing our shows, and it was a known fact. You especially, I always heard your name popping up.
Yeah.
You were always outside, homie.
Always.
What these youngsters claim is outside now, YB was doing that shit 15 years ago.
Outside now is the motherfucking phone, my boy.
You were really doing that, and I give you props, homies, because I knew, because I was running into people. People were like, my homie sisters, my homies primos, like, hey, I ran into these fools over here.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we're getting closer and closer. We might run into these fools eventually,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I'm glad that God's course led us to where it is now, homies.
Yeah, he led us where it needed to be, my boy.
Yeah.
You know,
So let's talk about the original story of how you became who you are, homes. Because before YB, it was Little Yogi.
Yeah.
And before Little Yogi, you were a youngster coming up, a fan of the game. And I want to know, when was the transition? Where did you fall in love with this music shit? Obviously, your brothers were in the game, but I want to know where YB was birthed. Where did you start? Where did this shit come from?
Shit. So with the music, you know, my brothers were rapping, fool. So like, we would be at the pad and these fools would be freestyling and shit. So once I fucking seen that shit, and you know, I just fell in love with it, my boy. Like, I was like, man, this is some shit I could do.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have no experience. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know what the fuck I was trying to do, but I just felt like I could do it. Long story short, I was going to school with one of Snapper's nephews, and he gave me like a card and shit, and this card had a phone number.
Yeah.
So I made a call and I left a voicemail, and I was like, hey, what's up, G? I was like, this is Yogi. We from West Covina, SGV. I got some brothers, they rap. You know, hit me back up. We trying to, you know, get put on and shit, whatever. Long story short, a couple months later, this fool calls us.
Yeah.
Calls us on a block call. I remember my mom walking in like, hey, alguien está llamando, se llama Snapper. And I'm like, what? Let me see that. I answer, and I gave the phone to Smilon. And I was like, here, phone. He's like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, fool, it's Snapper. Fool, just about the music shit. Chop it up with him. So they chopped it up. Long story short, they got into the music shit. They started rapping. And then I started fucking like hopping on their shit. So I jumped on their first project. My first song ever was with them.
Yeah.
So then, shit. After that, my boy, it was a rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was,
How did it feel being on your first song with them?
it was cool, man. Like
Like
shit.
a dream come true type shit.
Yeah,
huh?
you know, it was, cause I mean, fuck, dog. You know, like we come from nothing, dog. You know what I'm saying? So being a young ass fool like that, just dreaming about fucking having a song. Cause you know, back then, fool, there was no studios, my boy.
Yeah.
It was hard to get in the studio back then. And I remember these fools paid a good little chunk just to get in the studio for that one session. And yeah, we did that, and it was cool, dog. It came a long way, you know. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, but that's how it started, you know what I'm saying? And then that's where a lot of more shit just happened. Like I was rolling with them, and then I ended up telling Snaps like, hey, what's up, fool? Like, what's up with my project?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do my shit. And then he pretty much was like, oh, you know, I'm focused on my shit. I ain't got time for that. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm out. So I did. And I linked up with my boy Lyrical from Santa Ana.
Yeah.
And he had a plug with some dude in Santa Ana. His name was Joseph F. I don't know if you know him. Joseph Flores. He's like he does like all that vending and shit, you know, with the vendors and shit, with the CDs and shit.
Yeah.
He was one of those. And
Okay.
and he ended up giving like a deal, but the deal was turn in a full album, and I'll give you 1,000 CDs and some posters.
Shit.
Which
start. It was a start.
But you know, for me,
For a hustler,
yeah, my
especially.
boy, I was like, shit, shoot that. That's 10 racks.
You're gonna make that shit back quick, yeah.
Shoot that. So he shot that, and that's how I started building right there. I started just doing my shit, and they were still with snaps, but I was doing me. And then I kept trying to like get them to roll with me, and then they eventually, you know, once shit went bad over there, they were like, fuck it, let's do this. And when we got together, it was just unstoppable because it's brothers, dog, you know what I'm saying? We're blood brothers. So once we got together, it was only right, you know, so.
Now, how did that feel, honestly, Holmes? I've never had that in the game. So I was blessed that everybody I met showed love. They opened doors. I couldn't imagine meeting Capone and being like happy to like fucking get put on, and him telling me like, nah, homie, I don't got time for that shit right now. I'm pretty sure that was a letdown, homie.
It was.
Did that make you want to go harder?
Hell
like,
yeah.
Explain that.
It was,
that's
bro.
Some bullshit.
Nah, it was. Hell yeah, it was. But I was never signed to them and all that. But I was rolling. You know, trust me, I was rolling. You know what I'm saying? I was going to the shows, getting into it, all that shit with him.
Taking on the heat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but it's all good, you know. It is what it is. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. Shit.
You had a persistence and a consistency and a determination that not many of peers from your camp, your previous camp, the person that you were originally around that was on, so to say, in the beginning.
Yeah.
And even more people that came and went throughout the time that you've been in the game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What do
for
you
sure.
attribute that to? Like, what is that your love for the music? Is that your hunger? Like explain that.
Man, like to be honest, for me, it was I had a love for the music, definitely, because I just grew up on, like, with Taz always bumping fucking Bone Thugs, Cypress Hill, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And Bone Thugs was, like, the main ones, fool. Like, listening to them fools, I was like, man, this shit is too hard, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hardest group of all time.
hardest,
Ain't nobody
for sure,
fucking with them.
For sure, dog.
Yeah.
Ain't no Migos, none of that, you know?
No
Bone
disrespect,
Thugs.
but they ain't fucking with
Yeah,
them.
straight up.
For
So,
sure.
and I fell in love with it, dog. And yeah, I felt like I could do it. You know what I'm saying? And I have a hustle, dog. Like, I'm a hustler. You know, that's one thing about me is I've always been a hustler, dog. And that's why when I got the CDs, I knew, I was like, yeah, I could flip this shit. I could flip this shit, get more studio time, record more music, turn this shit into this, fool, get me another 1,000 CDs, go do this shit again. And as I kept doing that, I started getting plugs. I started meeting the people that print up the CDs. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I started doing my own shit.
Hell yeah. So you saw the reason to push for yourself harder in the beginning. You didn't get caught up in nobody else's bullshit. It was a blessing in disguise, most likely, that you didn't get put on by that dude, because he was on his way out.
Yeah.
And you were on your way in. So if you would have rolled with him, maybe it would have been a stain on your shit, because you don't have no stains on your
Nah,
career,
definitely.
So
yeah.
it's a good thing, Holmes. I think actually that was a blessing in disguise.
I love the way it rolled out, my boy.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I love it.
Even your carnals, they don't get no stain on their name because it was always known that they were the ones writing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like it was just a known fact. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So
definitely.
it was always a known fact that we all know where issues or problems come from, and I think we're all at a position in life where that shit don't even matter no more. We're all.
I mean,
ours.
we talking 20 years ago?
Wherever homeboy is at now, I'm pretty sure that he wishes he took a different approach. There's moments in my life that I wish I took a different approach too. You know what I'm saying? But we all live and we learn. I do know that we all had good times together, and there's some moments that I don't feel like we could ever be taken back. But it's part of the growing.
Yeah,
it's
like
part
me
of the
too.
shit. Yeah.
I have a lot of good memories with him, you know. So that's why I never really I don't try to speak bad about him or none of that, because I don't got hate towards him and shit, you know. But you know, we did leave off in a, you know, we didn't leave off.
Bad taste in the mouth.
You know, yeah. So
you guys never ended up like diss each other, nothing like that.
It was never. Nah, fuck all that.
never
You know
got
what I'm
to
saying?
that position.
Yeah. For what? You know what I'm saying? If we know each other, we could just call each other.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hell
So.
yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys were able to part ways and still be men and keep pushing without that becoming something that slowed you down. Or fucked up your trajectory of where you were going in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So where was the moment that you decided to go from Little Yogi to YB? Let's talk about the name change.
Okay, so with that, fucking one of my boys and shit, he started fucking, cause I was selling CDs. I ain't seen the homie in years, fool.
Yeah.
And but when he seen me, I was like 16, and I was fucking. He seen me just writing, and he was just like, man, this little fool. He's like, what's up, fool? He's like, you love writing music? And I was like, hell yeah, my boy. Like, this is my shit. fast forward, I was like 21, and I'm fucking outside selling CDs, and this fool pulls up, and I'm like, what's up, homie? You listen to rap? And that fool rolls down the window. He's like, what's up, fool? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what's up, my boy? And he's like, I'm gonna pull up real quick. I was like, cool. He pulls up, and he's like, man, what's up, fool? Like, why you out here selling CDs like this? I was like, man, I gotta do my thing, fool. He's like, what do you need? And I don't know, you know, in that time, fool, I'm still kind of like new, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, I need a fingers track. You know, what I'm
everybody
saying?
needed a fingers track back then, my boy. I'm not mad
like,
at you, homie.
you know what I'm saying?
He was the shit, homie.
Yeah,
Still.
yeah.
That was literally my answer, fool. Like, I need a fingers track.
Hell yeah.
He's like, how much he taught? I think like, whoop-de, you know, I don't want to put his numbers out there. And he was like, all right, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
That fool took me in there,
You
dog.
definitely had to have your bag right.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
And the homie, you know, he had his bag right. And he took me there, dog. He got me 2 tracks with him. And he got at me and you know, we had a little meeting and he was just like, man, fool, like the little Yogi shit's cool, but I feel like you should switch it up. And then we came over with YBE. And it was really YB for another little, you know, we just changed it up, fool. And I didn't like the way the Y space BE looked.
Yeah.
So I just put all that shit together in all caps, just YBE. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna run with it like that. Damn. So
Fingers has some fucking balls telling you that in this first session.
No. He didn't tell me that. My boy.
Oh, your homie, the investor.
Yeah,
homie.
yeah.
Oh, I got you. I was gonna say, dog, Fingers is tripping.
Nah.
That's how you lose some clients there, big dog. Nah, Fingers will let you know how he feels about a
Hell
record
yeah.
real quick. He'll
Fingers
turn
is
around.
cool.
Now, I'll tell you like this. If that fool turns around and he has his fucking arm on his shit like this looking at you, he's gonna say something negative, dog. That's 100,000%.
Yeah,
Every time
Fingers
he
is
says some
cool.
shit to me to critique my shit, I'm like, oh, here he goes with his fucking arm on his chair again. I already know the body language. I mean, shout out to Fingers. It's people like that that actually care and put their quota into your shit. That's why the summer nights come out. That's why the fucking, you know, the big hits, the lean like a cholos, because he puts that extra love in that.
I feel like he was. Come on, dog. He's one of the ones too.
100,000%.
Sure. Yeah.
He's
so,
one of the ones that was the sound of the commercial sound of Chicano rap.
yeah. Facts.
There's no debating, no arguing about it.
Pretty much all the radio records that Raza has is more than likely produced by Fingers.
Look, when I got in the game, 2001, 2000, everybody was on oldie beats, samples, loops, nothing more than that. We started getting in a little bit more with more original production. I know Shadow was doing that. Royalty, there was a couple artists that were doing a little bit more original production, but it was still motherfucking sample based. I remember going to the studio and just everything was gangster shit. Fingers was the one that made it like, okay, now we gotta start aiming for the radio sound, you know, because Little Rob was on the radio with him. This motherfucker was on the radio. Capone started getting on the radio. I was like, shit, we fuck around and not get a Fingers, but you get left behind in the radio.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
pretty much where it was going, you know. So shout out to Fingers, man. He deserves his flowers for everything he's done in the game. Imagine no Fingers, where Chicano rap would be.
Yeah,
like
facts.
really think about that.
Hell yeah.
There would have never been a Summer Nights, there would never been a Mommy Mira, there would never been half the shit that was done in this rap game that became explosions for this thing we call Chicano rap.
I recently just did another record with him too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
With that Mexican OT.
Oh yeah, that fool's hard.
Too hard.
That fool's super hard. I like his shit.
Yeah.
How'd you hook up with him?
Oh, I just heard that fool on the food community.
Yeah.
They just posted his shit and I heard it and I was like, man, who the fuck is this?
You're like, I gotta tap in?
Yeah, I tapped in and you know, crazy thing though is like, that fool right there, dog, he's really good people, dog. Like, he really showed me a lot of love.
That's dope.
Like, a lot of love. That fool took me on his tour and everything recently.
Is that right?
You know when I was in Texas?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I
that's
was
dope
on his
as
tour
fuck.
and shit.
How did it feel getting that love from out there from that type of
It's
artist?
cool, man. It's just, Texas is different. I tripped
different.
out. That was my first time out there and shit.
Yeah. What parts were you in?
We were in Fort Worth and Austin.
Oh, hell yeah. Shout out to everybody out there in Fort Worth and Austin. That's a motherfucking dangerous area.
Yeah.
You got to be on your P's and Q's right there,
Yeah,
my boy.
yeah.
Definitely, homie. That's a
Yeah,
dangerous area.
Yeah, like the Austin show was a lot of raza for sure.
yeah.
A lot of raza. And
Yeah.
the Fort Worth, there was a lot of like white and black.
Yeah.
But it was crazy, like to see that, like to see a raza rapper pulling
All
the
that type of
white
people.
and black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, it's different in Texas.
It is.
They still have their pride and they still represent because they're homie rappers or you know, they represent for what they are, their culture. But it's a little bit more like Texas has like a pride about them. Like they don't have the borders we have. We have indivisible borders out here that
They work together, dog.
they don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a Texas motherfucker.
Facts.
He's on already. Let's get him. Like, that's how they fuck with it, you know? It's not like, oh, that fool's from up there. He's this, he's that, you know?
Yeah,
It's just music to them. You know?
Yeah, and that's a good thing because I feel that's why they coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So
What's your opinion on cats like Swifty Blue and Lil Grifo signing the Gotos? Like, I know a lot of people have opinion on that shit.
I mean, I don't really have an opinion about it, but would I do it? I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just grew up a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, raised by it. Who I was raised by is just that's not the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? But am I against it? I'm not against it. Like, I think it's good. You know what I'm saying? For the raza, and for, you know,